Thank you all very much for tuning into my YouTube channel. I wanted to do another practice video and some practice drills that I commonly use. Now, the first thing you're gonna wanna do, which is a skill in and of itself, is to find a straight putt. This is definitely something that you should know how to do. Walking around a hole and being able to feel with your feet where the high and the low point is, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a straight putt that's about 4 to 5 feet. And then once I've found my straight putt, you've probably seen this before, we're gonna go ahead and set up 2 T-pegs as a gate on either side of the putter. You can make it as tight or as loose as you need to based off of your skill. And with each of these drills, I'm gonna do my best to give you some scoring statistics that are relevant to how different players at different skill levels might do with these drills. And again, the goal here is to try to hit as many of these in the hole as possible. You're working on making sure you can hit the ball in the center of the face and also making sure you can start the ball on the correct line. If you can't do those 2 things in putting, you're probably gonna have a pretty bad time putting.
If you run into another skier, your skis are gonna cross, gonna have a bad time.
The next thing I do is the 5-foot around the world drill. I'm sure you've seen this before. I go ahead and pace out 5-foot putts, five 5-foot putts around the hole. And my goal is to work in a circle and make as many of these out of 10 as I can. From every which direction. Just working on my alignment. Now, a tour pro from 5 feet is roughly 88%. A scratch golfer is something like 66% from 5 feet. And then a 90 shooter is about 50-50. And then our next one is the 5-foot random drill. The reason that I do a random drill is because sometimes when you're working around the hole, you can kind of get into a pattern where you kind of know exactly what the putt is doing and where to hit it at. Randomizing it just adds a little bit more stress to the drill. And the goal here is to control your distance. So you're gonna set up a station around the hole, or you can use a fake hole, and you're basically going to place a T-peg that's roughly 1 foot behind the hole. And then I normally place ball markers or quarters that are going to be 1 foot in front of the hole and then 2 foot in front of the hole. And then obviously 3 feet and 4 foot in front of the hole if you're going to be working on different distances. And your goal is from each distance to try to roll this ball inside of 10% of that number. So from 10 to 19 feet, 1 foot, 21 to 29 feet, 2 feet, 30 feet to 39 feet, 3 feet, etc. And every time you successfully do this, you're just gonna step back either 6 inches or a foot and just keep hitting these putts and getting the speed correctly. If you miss, you don't start over, you just redo the putt and go grab the ball. And you're gonna work this all the way back as far as you possibly can. This next one I got from a player that came out of California. He actually played for a pretty big school out there. And it's called the Scramble Drill. Bleh. And it's called the Scramble Challenge Drill. And you're basically going to take various clubs. I normally take a putter, a gap wedge, a sand wedge, and a lob wedge. And I try to get the ball as close as possible to the hole with various clubs. And this teaches you just different ways grass reacts and different clubs that you can use when you're scrambling around the green. Okay. Of course, we all want to get the ball inside of 3 feet and up and downs and easy kick-ins, but that's just not really realistic for most distances. Most of the times when you're outside of, fringe 10 to 15 to 20 yards, you should really be trying to give yourself a decent look at a chance to get the ball down in 2, but I do include some of these stats on average. And as you're going through some of these drills, if you have the space, it really makes sense to do this from different locations. You start to get a feel and an understanding for what clubs work best for you and your game from different distances. All right, now this is a game that Kurt has showed me how to do many, many times, and I practice it regularly. So it's best out of 3, high, low, and regular. Now, essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your 3 wedges, well, 4 if you have them, I have 3, and you're gonna take 3 balls and try to get the ball inside of the hole within your desired distance from however far you're hitting for the best 2 out of 3 attempts. The only other caveat to this drill is you're gonna have to hit a high shot, a low shot, and a regular shot with that same wedge. And essentially what this drill is teaching you is how the ball is going to react with different trajectories with the wedges that you're playing with. I do this a lot with the 60, and it's the hardest for me to hit low shots with a 60 because I just never know if the ball is going to grab. I never know if the ball is going to release. And as you see this, I struggle in the video. But this is going to give you valuable feedback on what different ball setups and different trajectories do when you hit them with different wedges. And then my favorite game, 18, aka up and down. Basically, the goal here is to try to get the ball up and down from 9 different places around the green. I like to do 3 basic targets, 3 medium targets, and 3 hard targets. I give you some general distances in which I like to use, but again, basic, medium, and hard for me could be completely different from you. I tend to like to really put a lot of pressure on my short game because it is one of my strengths. So for me, an easy shot is gonna be right off the fringe, somewhere within inside of 10 to 15 yards. A medium shot is going to be somewhere around 15 to 20 yards with maybe a little bit less to green to work with. And then a hard shot for me is going to be something out of the rough, short-sided, or something with a lot of distance, maybe 20, 25 yards with little green to work with and trying to get that up and down. And again, the goal of this game is to, again, get a perfect score of 18. I have yet to do it, but still searching for it.